Former governor, mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo. Debate, Nick game. It's a big night.
Forget that Carmelo Anthony picture.
You
Big,
like that?
Big.
Yeah, he was a good player, man. He was a great player, actually. Great player.
Beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
He was beautiful to watch. Not just great, but you know how some players, it's just a pleasure to watch them move, you know? That's what Carmelo was one of those.
He never got the credit they talked about his, he wasn't a great defensive player, wasn't a great passer, didn't rebound enough. But on any given night, he can torch anybody for 45. And I'm with you. I thought he was phenomenal, one of the great Knicks of all time, one of the great players. And, of course, he won a college championship up in upstate New York, not far from where you spent a lot of years, up there in Syracuse.
Yeah, came out of public housing in Brooklyn. He's a real New York story.
He is. He's a great story. So let me get to this debate from last night. And you know that anytime we talk, I'm honest. I try to be honest with both you guys. I don't talk to the terrorists. With Curtis and with you. Look, Curtis did a good job last night. I don't like the attacks on you. You know that. It's my audience knows that, too. A lot of them don't like me because of that. I don't care. My goal is to beat Mamdani. And when Curtis, in my opinion, wastes time hitting you with the same jab and punch that now we've heard 100 times, I know it makes Janice happy. And I love Janice, by the way, and Jennifer and others. Doesn't do anything to waste. But I did think, to be honest, Andrew, I tend to agree with Curtis more than I agree with you. Like, I thought his answer on Trump was the best one on stage, being honest. I loved his answer. I loved his answer about juveniles. If you're 16, you commit a dangerous crime, go to jail and not babying these baby criminals. Congestion pricing. I'm with him there, too. So that's the bad news for you, is that I tend to agree with a lot of Curtis Sewa's opinions, and I thought he was very good. But I thought you won, and I'll tell you why. Because you're really the only person on stage last night that did a really good job of explaining the difference between cities' responsibilities and states' responsibilities. Like, you can tell you've done this. So when you say, I've done this, even though Mamdani comes back to the wall, your experience, you can tell. I thought last night you were more aggressive. You fired back once at Curtis, but certainly plenty of times at Mamdani. And you did last night come off as the most experienced guy on the stage. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, a couple of things. First, thank you for that. I think that was a compliment. I'm not quite sure.
It was. No, it was. I said you won.
It was a half a compliment. Yeah, you won, but, the Knicks won the game, but they didn't look good. They messed up. Anyway, just teasing you. Take it easy. Take it easy.
All right.
Don't let your temper get up there. Don't let that.
I got a bad temper, Angel.
I know. I know. Calm. The first, on Mamdani, the reason I think what was shocking to me is how clear it is that Zoran is a fraud. See, it's not rhetoric. It's true. He's never had a job. He's the son of millionaires. Went to a $60,000 prep school. Went to Bowdoin College. Got into this Muslim movement, which brought him into politics. Assemblyman for 2 terms. When they say you only passed 3 bills, it means you did nothing. You passed 3 bills by accident. And then he didn't show up for 80% of the votes. Just a rich kid whose mother is a noted film director. He wanted to be an actor, rapper, and he is a very good performer. So he's got his 25-second little shtick down.
I got to stop you for a second. I got to tell you, I think you're overstating that. I thought that was the case. I thought it was horrible last night. First of all, he was sweating the whole night. He looked unkempt. He has the same 2-3 lines about you and Curtis all night. So I bought into all that. Oh, he's got the smile. He's charismatic. He's a good performer. I thought he sucked last night. Sucked.
But that's what happened. I'm sorry. I didn't finish the point. I'm tired. I didn't finish the point. That's what's been working him through the campaign because it's all orchestrated. You cut the video. So you edit the video the way you want. And he has makeup and he has the cue cards and he does these videos, which has been his whole campaign. TikTok video, this tweet, this film, this, yeah, great, social media. Now, last night, that doesn't work because you do your 10-minute shtick and then they ask you a question. And now you don't know anything besides that 10-second shtick. And that's what happened to him. And by the way, he doesn't know anything about government. Nothing, because there's a lot to know. And even your friend Curtis, he can have the right instinct, but what people leave out is government is a complicated beast, you know? You want to be a doctor, you have to go to school and get an education. You want to fly a plane, you have to go to school. It's not just instinctive, right? You raise the age, these 16-year-olds being treated as juveniles. The locality has the discretion to treat them as an adult. It's up to the locality. And most localities upstate do. So it means New York City is not charging them as an adult. They could have moved them from family court and treated them as an adult. They didn't in New York City. That's on New York City. It's not the law. It's the way it's being implemented in New York City. And frankly, it's the mentality in New York City and the judges and the prosecutors. Nobody should go to jail. That's the New York City mentality. But that's what it is. It's not the law. The law basically said, if you are 16, 17, you don't go to state prison. Only 2 states did that, us and North Carolina. And let me tell you something. I've been through state prisons. You have no idea what a state prison is like. It is worse than you see in the movies. It is, and I've been through uprisings in them.
Yeah.
To put a 16-year-old in a state prison, you may as well throw a piece of meat into a lion.
All right, listen, I disagree. They got to learn, because if you don't and you put them in family court, that obnoxious punk is going to think that he can get away with it. So I don't care. You're going to prison. You're not going to the Holiday Inn. I mean, I just had my friend George Santos on the show on Friday, Andrew, and Trump commuted his sentence. And he complained the whole way through. And I like George, so I felt badly for him. But you're going to prison. You're not going to camp. Tough. Yeah, don't kill somebody.
Juvenile facility is a walk in the park. But anyway, we can go back. My point is this. We're getting down to the election. Mayor there's a practicality to the mayor's job, right? We're not talking about a lot of ideology for a mayor. You perform, you operate, you manage, you perform services. We know what we have to do. Hire 5,000 cops. Figure out how to get them back. Get 1,500 in the subways. Tell them get off those damn phones. Separate. A cop walking up and down the train, like during Rudy's days, a cop on the platform. Tell these prosecutors, judges, if they don't start enforcing laws, you're going to campaign against them and try to get them out of office. Actually enforce the quality of life crimes, which are just as important outside. You have to build affordable housing, so do it. Just figure out how to do your goddamn job. Get it built. Forget the politics.
Yeah.
I was a HUD secretary. I've done it all across the country. And tell businesses, stop leaving. I get the socialists chase you out. I get what happened with Amazon. I'm going to lower your taxes. I'm going to work with you. That's what you need from a mayor. Say to the homeowners, I'm going to give you a property tax cap because you can't afford a home anymore. Say to middle-class New Yorkers, I'm going to cut your taxes because I know it's stressing you. That's what I did as governor. Oh, you're a Democrat. Really? I had a lower spending rate than Republican governors. I only went up 2% a year. Balanced the budget every year for 11 years on time. These jokers haven't gotten it done since I've left.
Yep.
I lowered middle-class taxes, corporate taxes, estate taxes, manufacturing taxes, and I brought businesses back to New York. So I am, forget Democrat, Republican. if your listeners say, what do I want done? And put it on a little list, I think it's the same list I have.
And I think you made these points clear last night. That's why I said you won. You know what you're talking about, the difference between city and state, the difference between the governor's responsibilities, which you were, and the mayor's responsibilities. I am curious, though. At one point you said, when Curtis was talking about you two guys playing in the sandbox, you said, I heard you on the radio yesterday. So when you walk in after this epic conversation with me and my friend, as you call him, Curtis, and Mamdani's on stage, Curtis is on stage. Is there a handshake between you and Curtis? Is there a hello? Or is it basically...
I shook his hand. I went over and I shook his hand. Look, I don't know the guy, right? I've never met him. I've seen him in the newspapers, but I never met him. But I don't treat people. I went over and I shook his hand. And by the way, I'm an Italian from Queens, too. He takes a lot of nasty shots. For me, just all I said was, I heard you on the radio yesterday, which, by the way, nobody understood except him, right? It was just sort of a shot between me and him. But, yeah. But let me ask you this. Why did Mamdani say your friend should be ranked second?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, okay, so what do you, when you say what does that mean, it sounds kind of villainous. You tell me what that means.
What does it mean about your friend? What does it mean? Who's your friend in cahoots with? Sid?
I don't know. I've asked him yesterday on this show. No, Andrew, I'm being honest. I said, do you want Mamdani to win instead of Cuomo? And he said, I don't want either one of them to win. So are you referring to that Bill Ackman tweet? I've seen some of this stuff. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, truth be told.
I didn't see the Ackman tweet.
Okay.
But what do you mean you don't want either to win? One of them is going to win. One of them is going to win. Life is option.
So are you saying, because I really don't know this, I haven't talked to Curtis much the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you noticed this, Andrew, but this is the fourth time you've been on this show. It's no secret that I mentioned on Fox News that we talk, and Melissa and I talk, and Curtis he's not thrilled about all that. So we're not talking every day, 10 times a day like we used to. So I don't really know what you're talking about at all, not even a little. But are you insinuating there's a deal between Curtis and Mamdani? Just say it.
Well, I'm not insinuating deal. Those are kind of like villainous terms.
Right.
All I'm saying is he knows it's either me or Mamdani.
Right.
When Mamdani says, I would rank Curtis second, he's trying to inflate Curtis. That's why you say that. My second choice would be Curtis.
Oh, listen, you're 100% right. Mamdani goes out of his way to smile at Curtis and keep Curtis in the race because he understands that with Curtis in the race, that makes your job more difficult. You're 100% right, of course.
That's right. And that's right. And that's why Curtis, your friend, is, I think, betraying the Republican Party and the Conservative Party. How do you like that?
Well, listen, you can call him my friend. He is my friend. He'll always be my friend. Win, lose, or draw. I love the guy. But, and again, just to be honest here, a lot more attention is being paid to you on this show than him. He was on once yesterday. You've been on 4 times. I'm on Fox News with Brian Kilmeade on Sunday night with John, talking about Curtis dropping out. So you can say your friend 20 times. He is my friend. He'll always be my friend. I'll always love him. But clearly, I've shown you a tremendous amount of respect. First of all, I told you won the debate last night. I did say that. Even though I complimented Curtis, I said you won the debate. You're on this show much more than Curtis is because I believe in my heart of, not I believe, I know. I'm a very smart guy. I know you have a much better chance of winning than Curtis. And would I rather have Cuomo or Mamdani? That's a silly question. So there you have it.
Yes. And look, I just want to provoke you because I frankly enjoy it a little.
I know you do.
Because you have to remember how many years I've heard you knocking the bejesus out of me.
Oh, you deserved it. So
So for me now, I get a little satisfaction
That's
out of
okay.
provoking.
Let me tell you
You know,
something. You know what I did yesterday, Angie? I had my first ever appearance on News Nation. My friend Connell McShane, he used to do the news on the Imus show. He does a show there. And he invited me on. So I'm walking the hallways of News Nation, and I see like 5 pictures of your brother. You remember your brother and I? We're going to fight. He wants Katz is going to pump $1 million. Cindy Adams writes a column. I go, I wonder if Chris even knows that Andrew is on my show. Well, does he? You know, he doesn't really talk about the debate and all that, all these things, because I know respectfully he doesn't want to get involved in that discussion. But are you guys close or not? What's the real relationship between Chris and Andrew? Honestly.
oh, I talk to him 5 times a day.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I just want to keep him 100 miles away from any of my political stuff because I don't want anyone saying, because they went after him last time.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone attacking him on anything.
Okay.
That has to do with. So I just keep him away from everything.
I mean, you do realize that you say you want to provoke me, and I beat you up, and I did, and I'm not apologizing because now I'm not, and now I'm giving you every opportunity to win this race. But you do realize there's going to be people voting for you that felt the same way and said the same things that I did. You know that.
Of course. And what I want to say to the Republicans, first, there was an election, ran for governor. It was about 2 million votes in the general. I got 1.7 million out of 2 million votes, okay? I didn't get 300,000 votes. So I had a lot of Republicans vote for me when I was governor. Because remember, I had a Republican Senate. And I worked, everything I did, I had to do with a Republican Senate. When I was in Washington, HUD Secretary, I worked with a Republican Congress. I don't operate that Democratic Republican partisan way that you hear on the radio and the talk shows. I mean, Staten Island, I killed myself to reduce the Verrazano toll. I don't think you would have been aware of this issue, but the Verrazano is like the major issue for Staten Island. Staten Island, they're all Republicans. So the Democrats didn't want to do anything on the Verrazano Bridge.
Right.
And the tolls were going up all over the place. It was a special problem for Staten Island. I worked with the Republicans, Senator named Andrew Lanza, nice Italian boy, the others. We brought the toll down on the Verrazano to $5 a round trip. It's cheaper than anything else. And the Democrats wouldn't do it. No, why should we do that for Staten Island? And I got it done. And it's still in place. Things like that, the express lane for Staten Island, all the reconstruction after Hurricane Sandy, how much time I spent there rebuilding, buying out houses that shouldn't have been there in the first place because they're going to flood again. I when I say I represent you, I'm a lawyer by training. If you are my client, I fight for you. I'm going to kill for you, whatever I have to do for you. That's my attitude when I govern, Democrat or Republican. So, yes, I want the Republican voters to vote for me.
Well, you're going to get some because of Trump. Because even though you don't go out of your way to be nice to Trump, even though I know that you like each other, and I say it every time, not to get you into trouble, but I'm an honest guy. But I know that in this city it doesn't always help. But President Trump doesn't like Curtis. Bottom line, doesn't like him. So there will be MAGA supporters of President Trump that will not vote for Curtis, even though his policies are the most conservative. They are. They still won't vote for him because Trump doesn't like him. So you're going to get some of those Republican votes. Let me ask you this. What was your favorite moment in last night's debate? What was your strongest highlight?
My favorite moment was when I got to say to Mandami, you have no qualifications whatsoever, and you don't even understand what the job is. You've never done anything. Because, Sid, that job is a scary job. You wake up as mayor, you wake up as governor, Any morning, there's a prison uprising. There was just a mass shooting. There's Legionnaire's disease. There's going to be a fiscal collapse. Wall Street's moving to doubt. Any given morning, there's a crisis. And people's lives are at stake. God forbid another 9/11. Can you imagine Mondami in the seat?
Yeah, I could. He'd be cheering.
Well, it's another problem. But can you imagine that?
No.
Listen. If Mondami was in the seat on 9/11, what would have happened in the seat?
Oh, come on. Now, listen, I also think you did a great job with him going back and forth about the Israel issue and the 3 or 4 times when he had no opinion, and you would go, shocker. Good stuff. That was good. I think overall he was far and away the worst of the 3 on stage last night. And I think a lot of people think you won this one because you were more aggressive. When you had to be fighting back, you fought back. Like I said, you did sound like the most experienced and knowledgeable of the bunch. So it's over now, though. That's it, right? So now we're down to the next few weeks. There's no more debates. What does Andrew Cuomo do for the next 13 days?
I go out there, shake hands, talk to people one-on-one. But look, let's say that the Republican vote is going to make the difference here, right? We know that. That's another fact. Trump doesn't like Curtis. You make it sound personal. I don't think it's personal. I think you can listen to Curtis and you can say, I agree with his sentiment. But
I do.
Trump now knows what he's doing, too. He was president once before. He's president now. He is a guy who is an effectual guy. Can you get the job done? He built the buildings. I don't think anyone who listens to Curtis thinks he understands government and the system well enough to actually get anything done. It's nice to have the right instinct. I go back to my doctor, open heart surgery. I really want to save your life. I really do. I really do. Yeah, but if you don't know how to do it, he doesn't know how to govern. Curtis, that's good you know the train system. That's good you got involved. That's nice. That doesn't mean you know how to run the city. Can you run the economy? Can you balance a $115 billion budget? Can you manage 300,000 employees? Do you know what it takes to get these corporate leaders back? Do you know what it takes to build a big project? You know what it takes to build 500,000 units of housing? It's not just telling everybody, every community, okay, whatever you want. I'm going to listen to whatever you want. You listen to every community, whatever you want. You know what they're going to say? I want nothing. That's what I want. I'm NIMBY.
I will say this. Some of my Republican friends who go back and forth on this election are Curtis and Andrew because they know I hate Mamdani. Yeah, I'm still sticking with Curtis. I would consider voting for Cuomo because he's got a better chance. But he's never apologized for the nursing homes. Now, I said, wait a second. On this show, he did. I heard him. I heard him say on this show that he feels badly. You've also said on this show that you would probably not do cashless bail. Not probably. You wouldn't do it again, knowing how it ended up, no discretion for the judges. So you have been, on this show, at least on this show, on a couple of those major issues, you have been apologetic. It may not hurt you to do it one more time.
Curtis, Curtis makes it up. They have 2 things they want to make up. Now, as I said, I've signed 1,000 bills, done all sorts of things, right? Superstorm Sandy, every kind of crazy thing. And when you do a lot of things, you make a lot of decisions, you can second-guess decisions. COVID. All right, you want to second-guess COVID. It was a once-in-a-lifetime. I have apologized. I apologized on your show. They know that. They just don't want to give it up because they want to play politics with it. That's all that is.
You feel badly. You feel badly for Janice Dean. You feel badly for Jennifer Harris and all these people.
Of course I feel badly. Of course, I was there. I used to go into the nursing homes because I wanted to give the nursing home staff comfort. I was afraid the nursing home people were going to quit because it was so scary in a nursing home. I thought the emergency room nurses were going to quit. So I would show up in these places that were supposed to be so dangerous myself. I'd walk in there with that little stupid paper mask and to give people comfort. I saw it. It was horrific. I have nightmares about it. Trying to hook up Zoom goodbyes with family. I mean, it was just nurses crying, everybody crying. It was horrific. Please. And it's not like, they made it sound like I'm making these medical decisions. What the hell do I know?
No, I mean, look, what's silly about it is, and it is silly, you didn't do anything hoping people would die. I mean, this is beyond ridiculous. Yes, people did die. That you can't, Andrew, you can't deny it. 15,000, 18,000, they died. And but you didn't make decisions hoping that people would die. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous that we even have that type of conversation.
The federal rules. I followed the federal rules. The CDC, all the national experts. And I'll tell you what's ironic. Curtis, I released an ad yesterday that Curtis ran for a year on WABC interviewing a lawyer. The ad says, people think Andrew Cuomo killed people in nursing homes. Is that true? The lawyer says, no, that wasn't the nursing home, New York State nursing home guidance. It was the nursing homes that committed an error, not Cuomo and not New York State. Oh, shocking. I thought it was Cuomo. No, the lawyer says. It wasn't Cuomo. Yeah. It was the nursing home.
Well, I saw that commercial. I got to get the two more things that you got to run. The sexual harassment stuff. That was brought up. That was not Curtis. That was Mom Donnie. He brought it up about 10 times last night. You kept saying, listen, jerk off. You didn't say that. I'll say it. Listen, jerk off. The courts saw it, and they came away that I didn't do anything. That's the truth, right?
Well, worse than that. And I didn't say this because I didn't want to get a backlash. He says, I'm there with Miss, I won't use her name, Miss Smith. She had brought a credible allegation, he said. See, he's not a lawyer either, Mamdani, right? He's a rapper. I said, not only the 5 DAs go up and down all through the thing, then 4 years of civil litigation. People had to come in and give a testimony. The day before, this woman has to come in and testify under oath. The day before she has to testify under oath, she drops the case. Why? Because when you have to come in and testify under oath, now you can't lie. And you can't puff because it's under oath. And they've talked to all the other witnesses. And they've read your email. And they know what you said to your girlfriend the day before she had to come in to testify.
Is this Bennett, the one who was in the audience last night? That was kind of cheap.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, because you were charged with defamation. You know what? If you're not lying about the person, don't worry about a defamation lawsuit.
Right. You can't lose.
Only worry if you're lying. And she dropped the case. That was 4 years of my life where I had to resign. My daughters had to live through that. 30, 30, and 28. All their peer group. And then you just drop the case. I was begging to go to trial because I wanted my day of vindication. I never got it.
You never got that. Final 30 seconds. Eric Adams, you're at the Nick Game with Eric last night. It's just a matter of time now before he endorses you. You were the only person on stage last night who wanted Eric Adams' endorsement. What is Eric Adams' endorsement? What does that mean so much to you?
Look, first of all, my statement to New Yorkers is I want everybody's support. I want to be a uniter because I think this Mamdani has done, I'll get his name right before this campaign's over. Zoran has done a lot of division and I said this last night. Yes, Jewish community. Yes, Italian community. You give the Columbus finger, the Columbus statue, the finger. You did disgraziado. The Hindu community, he divides. The Sunni Muslim community, he divides. He's a Shia. The Sunni Muslims, it's haram prostitution. And he wants to decriminalize prostitution for the prostitute, the Johns, and the pimps, right? 9/11 families hanging out with Hassan Piker. America deserved 9/11. The LGBTQ families, he's divided everybody. I want to unite. I want the Republicans' support. I want the black community support me, the brown community, because we got to get the city together again. We have to stop this division. That's our strength is our diversity. Our weakness can be our diversity. And we have to start rowing in the same direction because we have trouble. And that's what I want to do. That's what I've always been. And that's what any New Yorker really is. You accept one another. So, yeah, Eric Adams, yes, I want to support. And yes, I want the black community support. And yes, I'm going to go to Staten Island. And I want their support. I've always been there for them. And I want this city back to where we were, where we weren't pointing fingers. We didn't have people afraid to go out. We weren't afraid of protest, somebody hitting you over the head. We showed the police respect. The New York that I grew up in, you know, it was a healthier, more wholesome, more united place. So, yeah, no divisions with me. No divisions. The commonality is we're all New Yorkers. I have a Queens accent. You have a Brooklyn accent. Okay, we'll get over that.
Right.
But we're united.
Yep. Andrew, great job. Really great job last night. Great job this morning. Good luck. I'm sure we'll talk over the next 13 days till Election Day. Thank you for hopping on again this morning. Really terrific job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You got it. Mayoral hopeful right there. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Very appreciative that he took the time. So we had Curtis on yesterday, and we had Andrew on today. And not going to be it. I ain't going to put the terrorist on. I ain't going to do it. He wouldn't come on anyway because you think Mom Donnie is afraid of Curtis and Andrew. Pussy. Scared to death of me, and he should be.